Okay, so I'm holding this. This is very heavy, so I'm gonna have to keep this pretty quick. Um, I know I haven't made like a music related video in like a long time. I just wanted to focus on having, a catalog of photography videos on my channel. But those of you guys who have been here for a while know that I do both. Okay, so we are back today. We are about to get in the lab. I'm gonna make some music and I'm going to go through like every part of it, because something that I've been noticing is a lot of people are asking me questions about like how I play stuff, things like that. So in the future, moving forward in my videos when I do music stuff, I'm also going to be making them kind of like tutorial-esque and educational, so that you guys know what I'm doing, why I'm doing it. But anyway, so I started off by recording this chord progression that I had already written, that's in G major or E minor. And something interesting, I guess, that I did was that I didn't play the root notes of the chords necessarily. So the first chord could have been an E minor thing, or it could have been a C major 7 thing. You can't really tell because I don't define a root note, and that gives me a lot of room to play around with what I'm writing. So as far as the specific chord progression goes, I started off using C major 7 shape, the Ace shape from the Cade system, but I didn't play the C. Then I go to an A minor 7 shape with the root on the 6th string, but I don't play that root on the 6th string. I let the bass determine my bass notes for these chords. So that gives a nice interplay between the instruments. So it's essentially kind of like, if you're looking at it in the key of G major, it's like I did a 4, 2, 6, 5, or maybe it's a 4, 2, 6, and then like a 3. You can't tell because I don't do the bass notes. So at this point, I began just going through and trying to play in good performances of all the different ideas for the guitar part that I thought were good. Since I use Ableton Live, the way I like to approach writing a lot of the time is loop based. So I come up with different loops for the different instruments, and then I'll interchange them, try variations and things like that. And because I use Ableton Push, I'm able to easily try out several different arrangements, and it works really well for me. So in my process, I generally start with a guitar part, or if it's a more like keyboard centered song, I'll start with the keys and then build from there. After that, I'll do drums, and then I'll do bass. But every once in a while, if I have no ideas, I might start with drums and then go from there. So after I've recorded a bunch of stuff, I like to review it, and just see if I still like it after hearing it back a couple times. And then I'll see if I get inspired to do any different ideas, or if I'm ready to move on to the next part. So since I was pretty satisfied with what I had done already, I started looking through different drum sounds in Ableton just to see what drum sound would work with what I was doing and what I liked. From there, I pretty much go through the same process that I did for recording the guitar parts. I'll try a bunch of different variations, and I'll try and come up with a bunch of things that sound cool and see what arrangements work afterwards. Something that I do here as well is I'm able to build loops up because of how Push works with Ableton Live. I'm able to take one loop and then make it an even more complex loop and then an even more complex loop and keep building off of what I already did. So, as I'm editing this video and doing the narration, I'm noticing that there's this little empty spot right here. So I figured this would be a good time, to plug my Instagram. Links in the description. Go follow me on the gram. I do photography. It's pretty dope. Do videos too. You'll see a little clip probably, somewhere in here. Yeah, follow me. Okay, y'all probably want to hear music, so, I'll let y'all get back to that. So for the music that I make, I actually record and play in every part by myself, and then I'll quantize stuff later. The quantizing is what gives my guitars. Sometimes I'll do it on my rhythm guitars, even though I don't really need to, and it gives us this really weird warped sound that's a little bit different than if I would have just done the tape warp sound. It sounds really interesting and different. But yeah, I'm just playing in all those different variations of stuff, and just again seeing what works, building on other things to get the right drum part. So here I'm just experimenting around with different bass lines and trying to come up with a variation that works, and I ended up just using one bass line loop for the entire song that kind of now defines those bass notes for those chords. Instead of that being done in the actual guitar part, I defined the bass notes with the bass, and then I just recorded that in, trying to get a decent take that I could keep. So here I'm just listening back to that bass part, then I check how it sounds against the main chord progression, just to make sure everything's sounding good, everything is gravy, before I start recording other parts. So something that you guys might find interesting or just kind of useful information is I actually removed one of the bass or kick drum sounds after I heard that it was kind of interfering with the bass, and that's something that you kind of have to do sometimes as you mix and record. So here I'm just messing around with different ideas, trying to come up with a melodic guitar part that I can play, over certain sections of the song. That sounds pretty good. So I just try, again, just looking for notes, trying different variations until I find something that really works for me that I actually want to record and keep. So after I find something that I like, I go through that, long, sometimes short process of recording it over and over again till I have a take that I think is good and I want to use. So the last step in my process is generally, now that I have all these different loops and stuff, I just gave y'all the office look, I will go through in Ableton, and this is one of the cool things about using Ableton and Ableton Push. I can mix and match all those different loops from those different instruments and come up with a variation that I like. So I can do whatever song structure I like from those ideas that I have. I can order them however I want, mix and match them pretty much however I want, and it's really useful the way it's set up in that matrix. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you guys for watching this video. This song and all my other songs are up on SoundCloud. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe if you like what else you see on the channel. Thanks for watching. Oh, and also I do cinematics and all types of stuff on the channel. Actually, at the end of this video, I'll probably start it right now. It's probably already going. I'm going to throw in a cinematic that I made with this song in the background. So if you like like that kind of stuff, check out my other stuff and subscribe. All right, thanks.